want to bring you along for this moment. This is a jar of Beck's Old Limey Bastard that I have saved since September of 2016. 9-year-old jar of tobacco, and I want to open it while someone is watching. It's quite a moment, isn't it? It's so good that I'm going to ruin my focus preset to zoom in on it and show you what it actually looks like. But I'm not going to smoke it because, first and foremost, instead of a pipe smoker, I am a hoarder, and I have to get through the tobacco that's in this pouch, which was gifted to me by John Galdieri. This is the very last bit of some Peter Stockaby's Luxury Bullseye Flake, also from 2016, but I mixed it because it's getting a little cooler. It's a little seasonal. I mixed it with 50-50 with Pirate Cake. And today I'm going to be smoking it in my Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman, gifted to me by Fireplug 1701D. Thank you, sir. That's the housekeeping. Let's get started. It is August 24th, 2025, and you are watching the hottest, freshest, newest, ow, 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 ow. I burned my thumb on the hottest, freshest, newest Sunday antisocial hour. That time, each and every week, without fail, that I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. And if you are a piece of humanity with a question for me, leave it in the comments down below using the hashtag AskGribs, and I will answer any question. Do you have an itching, burning, swollen, engorged question keeping you up at night? I'm your man. No monologue today, let's get right to it. As I mentioned in my Minecraft antisocial last week, which was fun. That was fun, wasn't it? And we didn't get a lot of engagement, but that's okay. I just realized I've become one of those people that track engagement. Because my prepping video, which by the way, has now been translated into French. This is the first time any work I've ever produced has been translated into another language. Internationally renowned prepping expert coming to you to talk about stuff that's not really prepping. But the deal is, as I've mentioned, I don't really know how to respond to comments anymore because there are so many. I can't get to your Ask Gribs questions. So if I'm missing stuff, badger me. I know that Brad at Stuff and Things has a different method. I think he used to do Twitter. I'm not going to get on Twitter, nor am I going to call it X. But we could do some other social media. Y'all let me know in the comment. See, I won't see them. If you can think of a better method, if there's a social media you'd like to comment to me on, that's fine, we can do that. Or I'll put out an email, I don't know. But as I mentioned in my Minecraft video, I was so upset by what happened in Texas and the flooding in Texas that I couldn't really get it together to make a video about that. And it seems really strange to be all of a sudden an internet prepper face, like to be one of those people and to feel in some ways like I really should make a video about that, and in some ways like I really didn't want to. And I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing about Helene was I was actually there, even though when I look at all these comments on the video, I feel a lot of like imposter syndrome because I have my house and my family and we didn't really lose anything we couldn't replace. And it's all a really big, weird ball of shit. But I did make a few notes that maybe one day will come back. You know, the other thing is you don't want to respond to an event like that too soon before everybody knows all the facts, right? And it's probably been long enough now that most of the facts have come out. Maybe we'll do that if y'all are interested. The things that I could do if I just had time. There's so many videos I want to make. All right, comments on the Helene prepping video. Yeah. Kelly8223 says, I realize most people will freak out about this, but you can drink your pee. It's called blood plasma and it contains all of the nutrients you need. Your bladder is a holding tank, not a waste removal system. But what I wanted to say most about this is that I took a screenshot on it and I've had a file called drinkpee.jpg on my desktop for like a month now. So now we're done with that one. But so many people are so hung up on the toilet flushing thing and the buckets. And Andy Hall 4599 says, FYI, you can save on water by buying a $6 toilet seat that fits over 5-gallon buckets lined with bags, easier to manage. It is not, sir. It is not easier to manage than just flushing your regular toilet. However, something that has been brought to my attention, not from anybody watching the video, but from talking to people locally, is that the public housing in our city they do not have, I don't know what the term for it is. They don't have traditional toilets that fill with a tank and use that to pressurize the flow through the bowl. They have the toilets that plug into the wall, not electrically, the USB-C. Subscription-based smart toilets. No, they have the toilets like in big industrial facilities, hospitals, hotels, or whatever that have pressurized water coming in from the wall to flush. So the public housing facilities, the projects in our town, had no flushable toilets. That, my friends, is a problem. And I wish I didn't know that when I made my video, and I feel sad that I left that out. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's perspective. But if you have a regular old toilet, why would you poop in a bucket? Given access to a creek with water in it, or rain, or anything that's going to produce non-potable water. Oh, someone else commented about the proper pronunciation, and now I forget what they said. Don't poop in a bucket unless you really, really have to. Like unless you're down to your last liter of water per day per person. Don't do that. I mean, is it just me? Am I the only one that's squeamish about that? I just feel like, and then there were other people that were like, why don't you just dig a hole in your backyard? Because then I got a place I got neighbors. What am I going to say to my hey, good morning. Yeah, just reading the paper. Beatles, U2 says, forget the pizza index. I get worried when the Sunday Antisocial comes out on Saturday. As you should, sir. We were talking about that, about the U.S. bombing Iran. Boy, that seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? Yeah, I generally try to wait until the very last second to make a Sunday Antisocial, which I think I'm going to have to quit doing if I'm going to keep doing it regularly. I'm just going to have to do it as I can throughout the week, because it's very, very hard to get time on a weekend to make these. But news is happening so fast that we're not even going to talk about it. Because if we talked about it, then we'd be sad. And that's no way to move forward with life. And we've all got so much to move forward to. Ouch, it a woman. Ouch, it a woman. Ouch, it a woman. Maybe some of the pink and blue lights, like all the other kids are using, would brighten your mood. Like, I guess in the video backgrounds, I think, is what we were talking about there. When Trump said he would sanction, here we go, we're talking about the news. When Trump said he would sanction, we have this an Ask Gribbs question, I can't ignore it. When Trump said he would sanction anyone who helps Iran, I lost it. He's channeling George W. Ask Gribbs, so how about some lights? Wait a minute, wait, you fooled me. The Ask Gribbs part didn't include Trump. I have lights that you can't see, and everything's set up, so I'm not gonna, this lighting, believe it or not, this lighting takes a lot of work. The garage is not an ideal studio. Number one, the thing that bothers me most actually is in post when I'm trying to find a thumbnail, there's always this window behind me. It's always like, oh, I'm gonna put the text right here, oh, in front of that big glowing box. I could cover the window and then it would be 150 in here instead of 140. I'm sweating right now. I'm not showing you the top of my hat because I'm sweating through it. But the light is good, right? I look good. Don't comment about that. Silly Sally asks, do you have a water storage system, water storage and rain catchment system yet? No, I don't. Hi-Fi 1965 on the Declaration of Independence reading says, you must be the son of a preacher. Is it that obvious? Is it real? Like, I mean, I never drink on the channel. You must be the son of a preacher, sir, or ma'am, you must be the daughter of a... Preachers' kids can spot each other a mile away, right? And yeah, you're right. He goes on to say, you're like the William Shatner of pipe smokers. Thank you. Thank you? I really wanted to do... See, again, the things I would do if I just had the time, I really wanted to do... Every now and then we do music videos here. It's like MTV back when they had music, and I really want to do a cover of a cover. I want to do the cover of William Shatner's dramatic spoken word reading of Pulp's Common People. I really want to do that. I don't know if it'll ever happen. Hi-Fi 1965 says, this is a follow-up question. How do we keep our connections with each other when the world wants to divide us? As far as I know, we all put our pants on one leg at a time. Sir? It's exactly that kind of discrimination that leaves Scottish Highlanders out of this discussion. I guess we're going to go ahead and bring things down here. I don't know. I have given this a lot of thought. Like, not necessarily in relation to your question, although I have, but I have seriously been wondering this. Like, is human connectivity just over? I have basically left social media except for YouTube, and I read Reddit all the time, but I'm not super active on there. The things that I try to stay away from are the things that are constantly trying to drag my attention away from important things. My focus is so precious, my time is so limited, I can't do that. And that's not even to address the propaganda aspect of it. And I don't mean propaganda just in the political sense, but in the corporate sense. Have you all seen Margin Call? I watched Margin Call last night. What a great movie. I mean, Kevin Spacey notwithstanding, what a great movie. But there's people in boardrooms deciding what they want us to spend our attention on. And maybe some people can look at Facebook and Instagram, or TikTok or whatever, and not be swayed. I can't do that. I end up looking at the things they want me to look at, even when I go there to look for something else. The problem is, I would say that the solution, that the answer to your question is, we actually go out and meet people in real life, right? Like, we actually go find community in real life, which I have had some success in doing. The problem is, every time I'm like, hey, we should go have coffee and talk, you know, we like, okay, we met at this event, let's actually connect with each other, make new friends or whatever. And they say, cool, what's your Instagram? Let's come back to this. This is a theme, certainly a theme in my life. It's a theme I'd love to keep discussing here. Y'all think of Ask Gribbs questions. Rafa, good to hear from you. What would be the ideal features for a tobacco pipe to be a tactical pipe? I think number one, it's got to be black, right? Number two, we're going to need Picatinny rails, and at least 3 of them. I don't know why. Who puts that much shit on their rifle? Why do you need 3 Picatinny rails? But we're going to need 3 Picatinny rails. I think one on the front, if you want to mount a Corona should make an old boy with a tactical gooseneck. You can mount it to the Picatinny rail on your pipe, and then you'll have a subscription USB charging, and then you'll get on your phone and cue the app to light your pipe for you if the firmware is up to date. Anyway, number 2, so black Picatinny rails, and I think what's most important here is your pipe needs to be capable of tactical reloads. So this is, I'm sorry, it's outdated. What we're gonna need is magazine-fed pipes. Hear me out. Okay, so you make a cylinder, right? We would standardize this. It'd be like Glock or Smith & Wesson. We standardize this across platforms so that then third parties could make carbine pipes that would take the pistol caliber tobacco mags and sentences you never thought you'd say. But seriously, okay, so you got a cylinder made of meerschaum, very, very thin meerschaum, right? And it's got holes in the right places. You've got index tabs. You drop it in your pipe, right? And when you're done, you've got like a drop-free mag release on the bottom. So you just go doop, and then the cylinder falls out, and you can put another one in, tactical reload. I bet I could market that. Cascadian Piper, Ask Gribbs, David Lee Roth, and Van Halen, pros and cons. I mean, there's no denying Van Halen benefited during the big hair spandex era. I don't see David Lee Roth and Van Halen, yes, but also, here's the thing. I'm a purist in many forms. There is no Van Halen without David Lee Roth, and without Van Halen, David Lee Roth is pretty much irrelevant. My camera is overheating. Are you freaking kidding me? How hard can we make this? Seriously. I've given it 5 minutes. We'll see. CB Pot says, this is a good one. Ask Gribbs. I spent a month thinking about this. On Hot Ones, Adam Levine, whatever. On Hot Ones, Adam was asked to put together a rock star using others' attributes: voice, aura, style, and writing. I finally decided on voice, David Draymond for the lead singer of Disturbed. Aura, Bono. Style, David Bowie, and songwriting, Roger Waters. Your turn. All right. So I have to put together a new Frankenstein monster rock star with these attributes: voice, aura, style, and writing. Okay, voice is easy. Hetfield. I know, we keep coming back, but there's a reason that Metallica is the most successful metal band, and it's Hetfield's voice. It's way better than pretty much every other metal band. Now, I know there's, it's for me, I don't like operatic vocals, and I don't like Cookie Monster vocals. I just like good hard rock metal vocals. And it's straight ahead. He's done enough vocal training. He's a big dude. He can hit low notes. He can, in his earlier in his career, he's decent at high notes. One time I saw an interview where they played back some of Whiplash, I think, and he was like, wow, who's she? Writing, easy, Springsteen. So now we've got someone with Hetfield's voice and Springsteen's writing style. Now I wouldn't want to necessarily invoke Springsteen's subject matter or thematic content. You know, I don't want a Hetfield style voice singing about like migrant workers. I don't know, that might be kind of cool actually. But there's no better songwriter. I mean, you could maybe say somebody like Tift Merritt or Bob Dylan. Okay, Bob. Ooh. All right. Hetfield for voice, Bob Dylan for songwriting. Late career Bob Dylan. I get confused on the style and aura thing because isn't that kind of the same thing? Like aura, what feeling do they give you when they walk into a, like, define this. I don't, this is tough. So and then for style, is that just how they dress? I don't really know. Okay, here are the people that came to mind. Lemmy, in terms of aura, like just no bullshit, straight ahead rock and roll. But then do I want to go with Lemmy's style? I don't know. There's some parts of his style I'm not okay with. Plant, especially for aura. Ozzy for aura. Ozzy had the weak point, I think, with Ozzy and Black Sabbath is the lyrical content. Actually, Black Sabbath, so it's the Ozzy's solo stuff. The lyrical content was a little rough. He was a master of aura, though. And even when I found it cringy, which is fairly often, it's still effective. It's interesting. Anyway, so Ozzy, Kill 'Em All era Metallica for purely for style in terms of the way that they look. And I think you could throw in Guns N' Roses, or I mean even like Aerosmith for that like 80s kind of rock metal look. Like if we're just gonna go for fashion, denim, leather jackets, headscarves, cocaine, something like that. And then last that I had for that, and again, I'll just put it out there without disclaimer, Billy Corgan, for all of his douchiness, and man, does he have a lot of it, to the point that I can't really enjoy the band anymore. I think that Billy Corgan really, really knew how to create a style and an aura. All right, is there anything else we can talk about before we have to get to the hard stuff? No, there doesn't. It seems like we're gonna have to jump right in. I quit. I cannot do this anymore. This is either a serious channel or it's not. And I'm having this identity crisis where all of a sudden everything blew up and things are different now. And you know, for a long time I've wanted to have better production value. I want to make videos that look good and that sound good. And I was uncomfortable with that at first because it's like, okay, now we're losing what the channel was originally about. And we don't even talk about pipes very much anymore. You know, it's just kind of part of a shtick. And the garage is part of that shtick. It's like something I really held on to because I don't want to be a big YouTube channel. I don't want to go to that place. And I used to make videos in my boot room with the cat litter beneath me, you know, with my phone propped on a coffee can, and that was fine and it was fun and we all had a good time. I don't think I can go back. I don't think you can. I think once you've tried to make a really good product, it's hard to go back. We're 10 years in and the channel is kind of at this crossroads, and I just don't have the time. Like I don't have, by the time I haul everything down to the garage and get everything set up, I got 2 tripods because we got this microphone here. I got 2 tripods, I got a light. It's whatever temperature it is down there. If my camera's overheating, y'all know I'm overheating. So even if I tried to be like, oh, let's do this informally, my you know, back in the day, my baby's taking a nap, I've got half an hour, I can make a pipe video. The things have changed. So that's the first part of this video is the last time you're gonna see the garage for a long time. I cannot do it anymore. And that sucks because it kept things grounded, it kept things informal, you know. But I work way too hard on these videos to have them interrupted by my camera overheating, because it's, you know, probably literally 100 degrees in there. Y'all can't see that I'm soaked in sweat. I work way too hard to pretend that this isn't hard work. And while we're just real talking here, I think of the Sunday Antisocial as a comedy show. Like, it should be entertaining, you know, it should be fun to watch. And we live in really bad times, and it might not be fun to watch, because I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to ignore it. And you know, I feel like every video I'm making these jokes of like, oh, things are going to be fun, and then I look at the camera with this like really scared expression, because that's how I feel. I'm really scared. For those of you internationally watching, there's a lot of Americans right now that are really scared, that didn't want this. We did not want this. And, you know, I tell my kid that we will not walk in fear. You feel the fear, but you can't let it change the way you interact with the world. And at this point, to come on and make the same silly jokes not that I try to make new jokes, but like that's less authentic than just saying, y'all, we're scared here. Like, if you're watching this channel, you're scared right along with me. So take that for what it's worth, and you know, I'm still gonna try to have fun with what time we have left together, and you know, we'll do our best, and that's all we've ever done. And 10,000 subs, and we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of this channel, and I would rather things change than not. It would be a lie to say I'm still making pipe videos in my garage. Three Rivers Forge asked Gribbs, being factually incorrect about a subject means you should be researching that subject more thoroughly rather than leading with emotions over that error. You don't need a warrant to arrest a known criminal. So this is important. This is really, really important. Yes, you do. Sir or madam, I get the sense that you are a nice guy or gal, and that you perceive yourself to be arguing in good faith, and so we're gonna respond with a good faith argument for the sake of everybody in this conversation. If the police could arrest every known criminal, the jails would be overflowing with drug dealers and rapists and murderers. I know cops. I'm not friends with cops. I have known cops that know who serial killers are, but cannot arrest them because there's not enough evidence. I have personally known those cops. You cannot let your peace officers decide who a known criminal is. That is rightfully the purview of the justice system. That's how our country was designed. It is not enough to, we all know criminals. We all are criminals. It is not enough to know someone is a criminal. You have the burden of proof. Those illegal aliens broke the law at the start, and somehow the police found out about it. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Unlawful presence in the United States is not a criminal offense. I'm going to say that again. Unlawful presence, being an illegal alien, is not a criminal offense. It is a civil offense. It goes to civil court, in the same way that if I sue my neighbor for their tree falling on my cat, it goes to civil court. That is why we have separate courts called immigration courts. Now, to be clear, improper entry is a criminal offense. If they catch you as you are coming into the country improperly, you may be charged with a misdemeanor. Both of these things are sourced from U.S. code, I'll give you the code in a second, and from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service. Title 8 of the U.S. Code, squiggly mark 1325, improper entry by an illegal alien risks civil penalties. Civil penalty of at least $50 and not more than $250 for each such entry. Is it illegal? Yes. It's also illegal to file your taxes on April 16th. All of this is a moot point because of what I'm going to say in a minute, but it's important to start with your premise. And it's wrong. But that's all irrelevant at this point because the larger issue is due process. Illegal aliens are not subject to the same things that American citizens are subject to. Yes, they are. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. It does not say citizens, it says people and persons. This is basic Americanism. America was founded by people who had just thrown off a tyrannical government. And they knew that if you put the burden of proof on the citizen, you got real problems. Can you prove in this moment, right now, sitting at whatever device you're sitting at, can you prove you're a US citizen? Do you have your driver's license? Oh, driver's license doesn't count. Do you own a home? Oh, that doesn't count either. There's plenty of foreign interests that own property. Does your kid go to a public school? Oh, that doesn't prove it either. Do you have a real ID? That gets you close, but it still doesn't actually prove that you're a citizen. A United States passport will prove that you are a United States citizen. Do you have one in reach? Do you carry it with you when you leave your house? So if you are searched or seized by a federal agent and your defense is, you can't do this to me, I'm a US citizen, but the burden of proof is on you, we'll see you in Uganda. Due process is a fancy legal term for the reality, the fact, the historical evidence of the concept that anything you allow your government to do to others, they will in time do to you. Well, you wouldn't expect the police to get a warrant before arresting someone who is in the middle of committing a crime. Yes, you would. Probable cause exists when an officer witnesses a crime. How do you witness an unlawful presence? Well, you use the criteria that the administration has established, including skin color and language spoken, including types of businesses that employ illegal aliens. Should every white man in this country working in construction or meatpacking have to carry his passport in his pocket to prove that he is a citizen? There is no defense. What courtroom do they need? What would a judge say? They were caught in the commission of a crime. They don't deserve court. Think. Listen to yourself. Think about what you're saying. They can't plead not guilty because there's no way around the fact that they are guilty. Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? If a cop pulls you over and finds a bag of weed in your car, you can't defend that in court, right? It's clear. Prima facie. There's no defense, so you should just go to El Salvador. I get that it's easy to tug on the heartstrings.
Why are you doing this?
Can you tell us what he's been charged with?
And the media loves to do that. I resent that. Is my argument without intellectual merit. Can you prove me wrong? Can you cite court cases to the contrary? I'm not a lawyer. We fought wars. Good people are dead, bringing down the types of regimes you are begging for. The people that have been defending Fox News and saying we should deport all the illegals for decades are also the people that are generally conspiracy theorists and want to talk about limited government and how Randy Weaver wasn't a bad guy and maybe we should have the Second Amendment so we can fight off tyranny. The capital of this country is currently occupied by federal troops. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You never believed it. You never believed anything you said. You just wanted the power. And I said we were going to be arguing in good faith, and so I'm using the you to talk broadly. Mr. Three Oaks Forge, Three Rivers, hang on. Mr. or Miss Three Rivers Forge. I'm talking broadly. Pointedly, but broadly. Here's the thing. All of politics is power by proxy, right? We give the state a monopoly on the use of force so that they can enact the will of the people, right? So if this is the way you truly feel, ICE is looking for recruits, right? Why don't you put on a mask? Why don't you pick up a gun, wear a vest, and go into some of these neighborhoods? No one is stopping you. You can get an unmarked car and cover your face. Why don't you give it a try? These cowards do not understand what it means to be an American. Give me liberty or give me death. Not give me liberty and job security because the illegals are going to take my job. Give me liberty or give me death. Liberty does not mean that you need a strong man to protect you from the dangerous illegals and other brown people in your neighborhood. Liberty means that you refuse to walk in fear of those people because fear is what makes you unfree. In fact, if you are fearful enough, you will welcome the theft of your liberty. As a random fat pipe smoker on the internet who's never seen combat or served in the military, I am brave enough to accept the dangers of living free. And you are too. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.